So have you ever wondered if your horse is truly straight or if they're just relying on the arena wall to stay upright? This simple quarter line test is going to reveal whether your horse can hold up their own balance or if the wall has been doing all the hard work this whole time. By testing and improving your horse's straightness, you're not only going to build a stronger foundation for how they work in the arena for their flat work, but also this is going to help you in your jumping to stay straight, and then eventually when you jump skinnies, to be able to make sure that your horse can stay on the line. So imagine if you could identify where you and your horse are struggling with your partnership or with your riding without having to go to a competition or take a lesson. Because instead of guessing what's holding you back, I have 10 simple at-home on your own tests that's going to give you clear and actionable insights into what you're currently struggling with. The best part is that these tests don't just improve your skills. They help forge a deeper connection with you and your horse for more successful rides, especially when you're under the high pressure of competition. So let's dive in. Hey guys, so welcome back to Team Fuego for 10 horse riding improvement tests for better skills and a stronger horse-rider connection. So in this series, we're going to explore 10 simple yet really powerful at-home tests.
Bring it on!
Designed for you to do them on your own, but to improve not only the essential skills for riding, but deepen your connection with your horse. So these tests aren't just about technique, they're about understanding what you and your horse truly need to strengthen for your partnership to prosper.
Like a both.
Whether you're preparing for your next show or just looking to build more trust and balance in your everyday riding, these exercises are going to help get you there, but more importantly, point out where you guys need to focus. So let's saddle up and start creating some better results and a stronger bond.
This is going to be epic!
So before we dive into this test, I just want to tell you the quick backstory into how I figured this out. So my horse was injured and he was given the Equiband for his rehab. And before we used the Equiband, my horse was the wiggliest, squiggliest, most crooked horse on the planet. He had legs going in every direction, and frankly, it was utter chaos. I used to describe him as riding a starfish because he was just between his neck and his forelegs and his he was just everywhere. And so it was interesting because I would constantly, when I was riding him, I would constantly have to remind him to stay straight, stay upright, hold his side up, hold his ribs in. Every freaking step had multiple instructions about how to keep the horse straight. Now, fast forward a little bit, and we actually were using the Equiband to rehab an injury, which had nothing to do with the straightness, but the Equiband tool is literally designed to hold a horse's body in a straight line. And one of the benefits from using the Equiband, like aside from the rehab and the muscle development, was he was able to practice going straighter without me having to hound him every step of the way. And so there's two things here, right? Because using the Equiband tool is a literal cheat code for going straighter, like honestly. However, the idea though that I was able to ride him and focus on some of the other 100 things we have to worry about while we're riding was a huge asset in helping him become straighter and become stronger in being straighter. Now, that's just the backstory for how I determined that my horse was not only, I knew he wasn't going straight, it was a literal nightmare to keep him going in one direction at any point in time before using the Equiband. However, once we were using the Equiband and he developed some true strength in going straight, I then realized that when you do quarter line and center line work, it's infinitely easier when your horse has true strength for going straight. Now, I have an entire playlist and online course about developing an Equiband program. So the link is in the description if you're ever interested in using the Equiband because your horse struggles with straightness like mine did. However, the test that you can do at home to know if your horse is struggling with straightness or not is to simply, from now on, do not ride on the wall. So whenever you're in an arena, there's different layers, right? So you can ride on the wall, so you have a wall directly on one side. You can ride off the wall, which means that you're not going all the way to the quarter line, but you're not riding on like the divoted path, right, that everybody goes in. Or of course, you can ride the center line. Now, center lines, for whatever reason, horses go, oh my God, I'm on a center line. For whatever reason, they mentally just go, oh my God, this is totally different. Fair enough, whatever. It kind of creates a little mental chaos though, and that's not the point of this test. So what I'm saying is you can work on the quarter line. That's completely valid. However, what I'm really thinking is that what you should do is when you're riding around the arena, just do this at home on your own. This is not like a lesson thing. This is just for you to test you and your horse's ability to go straight, which means that if you work just off the wall, so you're going to go just directly to the inside of the track that everybody follows. And what you're going to do is you're just going to witness. You're going to see if your horse is able to hold the line on the line that you pick, or if they wander over to the wall. And what that is going to tell you is that your horse is not truly straight. Your horse is using the wall to hold themselves up. One of the tests, there's a few different people who make videos on the channel. One of the ladies, though, was talking about shoulder ins. And she kind of made a joke because she was like, you can get away with murder shouldering in on the wall. And this is in keeping with this straightness test, because if you work off the wall and see if your horse can hold the line, but when you're getting to the moves where you're doing shoulder in, haunches in, all the different types of higher level dressage moves, then what you're going to do is you're going to do those moves off the wall, and your horse has to hold the straight line. Now, I do promise you, this is a lot harder than it sounds, and the reality is that there's no wrong answer here. It's just a starting point. This is just you seeing if your horse is able to hold the straightness on their own, or how much of it is you holding them up. Because while riding is a partnership, this is the part that they bring to the table. Now, when I used the Equiband, it was an amazing tool to help my horse build some true muscle without me having to harass him into it, right? But it helped him really with his straightness. He has some very interesting leg situations going on. And so he was naturally very crooked from the day I got him. And so I was always having to harass him into being straight. And frankly, the Equiband made it so the Equiband was having that conversation with him, and I didn't have to anymore. It was great. But what that really did for us is it actually asked the question, is the horse really straight? My answer was no until we worked on it and built some true strength. And now the horse, not only does it improve the flat work and the dressage moves, but it helps with jumping too. If your horse is able to hold the line, now jumping is about holding the line, but if your horse isn't able to stay straight, then you're never going to hold any line no matter what. So when you're jumping skinnies, for me out on cross country, that line becomes the most important part of the skill in general. So anyway, this is the at-home test for straightness. Now, when pass, fail, left, right, up, down, it doesn't really matter. It's just a starting point. And in this video, there are tips and tricks for how to develop it and increase the difficulty of the test as time goes on. And once you have your straightness down packed, it really will help improve your riding in every facet. So I hope this has helped, but this is just 1 out of 10 tests that you can give yourself, just simply at-home tests to identify where you are to where you want to go. So that's all for this test of the 10 horse riding improvement tests for better skills and a stronger horse rider connection. Remember, each of these tests is a stepping stone to developing a better horse rider connection, but more importantly, for you to become a better rider no matter what horse you're riding. Because better communication with your horse and clearer communication is going to improve the results no matter what. As with anything, the more you practice, the better you get. But with horses, it's tricky because you only have a capped number of hours that you can work with a horse every day, every week, every month. They are not motorcycles or machines.
I know you know this on a deep subconscious level.
you have to make incremental progress and know what the little things you can do, how that translates to the big steps you can take later. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with one of your equestrian friends because these tests apply to all types of riding. As always, happy riding, and I'll see you on the next test.